not at all I wanted to go whatsoever.
Well, then you should have, like, said something the entire time. It's only me talking.
A few moments later.
I just wanted a quick review, like, hey, okay, so we went last week, this is what we did. We took the kids with us to make it family friendly. We went there, we picked it up. We were really rushed with the experience, it felt like, because we were outside with the kids.
Okay, stop.
Leading.
No, do your... We're back from Elkhart. We survived.
We did. We made it back in one piece. Nothing broke.
We're gonna...
Yes.
That's not true.
What, you broke?
Huh? The silicone.
The silicone did break.
The closet slide's already starting to separate.
Okay, so this is gonna be a quick synopsis of what we're gonna talk about, because AJ would like to do a couple more videos, so it's not one giant 45-minute video.
It just works better to do shorter ones.
It does. Well, you do editing, so that's fine. Okay, so last week we were in Elkhart, and we took the kids with us, and we picked up Baymax. It was freaking cold, and it was raining, and trying to go through everything in the trailer with 3 kids was... I don't think I'd suggest that. Yeah, and it was outside. It was cold. So they at least opened the trailer. We looked through stuff. I feel like we might have rushed a little bit because the kids were tired, and it was crappy. And I mean, we asked questions, and they were really good. I mean, they were awesome. They were super nice. And
they were very polite.
Yes.
They were very accommodating.
Yes, they were.
There were a couple of things that we brought up and noticed that they took care of as best they could.
Yep.
On site.
They were things that we were expecting that we didn't have, and they have offered to send that to us, like little pieces like trim and stuff. And we handed off our receipts for reimbursement stuff, and then we packed up and headed home. And then we got home, and we were super late.
Yeah, so when we got home, meaning a day or two later.
Yeah.
By the time we actually got parked and reset back up and had time to
go through
actually
things.
Look at stuff. Had the kids occupied, so they weren't in the garage while it's 40 degrees in here, trying to like watch a tablet or a phone.
So we could talk.
Right, so that we could,
underneath a curtain, because that's all I had for them to cover up with them,
for
because
blankets
the truck's
and stuff.
far away. Anyway, fast. So I guess we can go through our positives and our negatives. Our positives, after we came back and we had the time to go through it last week, was we have
I beefed up our bed frame so
right.
it fits a full, like a residential king size.
And they took the time to put new struts in for that.
Yeah.
Which was something they didn't have to do. That was awesome.
I don't have to use the wooden dowel as a prop rod now.
I just said, you drink for me. How about that? I already went over getting fuel and hotel reimbursement. We got a new roof. They fixed the trim pieces in the bedroom. They did 2 new windows, the small ones in the bedroom, which we weren't expecting. And then with our custom paint, they gave us some money to pay to us to paint it ourselves.
I don't know if I would have put that as a positive, but the fact that they were willing to work with us.
Yes, on it. And that will be in a clip itself.
Positive,
so that's what we're talking about. There's a lot of little clips that are going to come out videos.
We'll save it.
Yes. So anyway, those are the list of positives.
Yeah. I'm glad you think it's a positive.
I'm trying to be fair, okay? Negatives. Where do we start? We were told that the bedroom floor was going to be replaced. They just put some putty in there. It never was replaced.
They caulked the holes. So the screws were working up through the floors because that's what happens with the flex.
Yeah. Right.
And then you look at, so the story, whatever for the work order, you look at their correction, but they talk, so instead of removing the floor, it says they added fasteners to handle squeaks. And it looks like they put some shims underneath between the steel frame and the subfloor. I don't. We'll get into that.
Short. So the floor was never replaced. We were also told on the first day that we got a call from a service writer that in your frame, flex frame failure, frame
Right.
fixing, whatever you want to call it, the closet slide would come out. It's never been out. It was never out.
So that it needed to come out to do the repairs.
Yes. So that is another story. That never came out. Our cabinets in the bedroom were a hot mess. See, there's still a negative and a positive to the negative. The main slides here, we're still having issues with.
They did create a work order for it. The work order says that they are inspected and functioning properly. Between the four corners of the two slides, they range from 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch from the wall. They still don't seat evenly at the floors. A lot of this is from the flush floor slide.
And
But
this
then
one
we
isn't flushy either, and we're having issues.
right.
Okay, we're fast. I know you're struggling
Stop
with
saying
this.
fast.
Welds and not complete.
Paint.
Yeah, paint, not complete.
Not complete.
You can touch on that a bit if you want.
The welds are. It's an issue. I'm told I have to keep this fast.
Yes.
Some of the pictures may or may not have been leaked already, so you may have already seen a few of them by now. I even posted one. I did a YouTube post. Never done that before.
That was the first.
So there is one there.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, the frame, their repairs, as far as the frame goes, is going to be its own thing.
Yeah. And then
We're going to have fun with it.
gutter screws, because when you're at Grand Design for insurance reason, you're not allowed to go on the roof.
Safety, you can't go on the roof. Fine,
Okay.
fair.
So anyway, we couldn't check it over until we got home. So there was issues with that, and there was my last thing is a crack starting in the lap sealant on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So those were our negatives that we put back together.
Oh, and the leak, the seam leaks. Does anybody else have a 395? So
Yes.
short tangent.
Yeah.
The gutters, there is a seam where the pieces come together. It is directly over the outlet next to the door. Ours is leaked from day one, but when it drips onto that outlet box, and it
So
might as well
annoying.
be dropping into a steel garbage can
It's so loud when you're
in the middle of the
sleeping.
bedroom.
So
It's
loud.
just black.
AJ's really bitter
black.
about this if you couldn't tell.
And I tried, like, on the phone, after they're going to replace the roof, I'm like, listen, like, I'm sure this stuff comes in, like, a 20-foot stick. And I don't know if you're going to replace it, but if you have them off, can you please, for the love of God, move that seam? Like, I understand you have to have seams. Like, move it over. Like, 3 inches is all you need. Like, it's a single gang outdoor box. Like, this was a super little thing that somebody could have done that would have been life-changing. And we get it home, and we're doing stuff, and finally we get rain for the first time in about, like, 200 days. And you'll see the video. It'll be in something. But it's just, doop, 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 doop. It's basically raining through right down on the box.
Right.
And I wanted to scream.
So watch Cliff Notes. I don't think I have anything else. With our other videos will be more in depth with the negatives that we have.
Yeah, but we're going to dig into this because we have to repaint all the so if you want to check out, come back to the videos. The bedroom cabinetry has to be completely stripped. We're taking all the paint off because we pretty much have to. We know we made some mistakes. We've owned that the whole time. So it's all getting stripped. With that, we learned we're going to take some of the trim off to do a better job of that. We have all the tools. I got a crown stapler. This is easy. But because we're going to do that, that's going to allow us to look into a few places.
This is just upsetting. Is it something that it went back and it came back and it's not fixed? What's even worse is that your kids want to move back in your house and you can't. I'm like, for us as a family of 5, and the kids don't understand why they can't move back in their house.
Yeah, because we can't be stripping, stuff and sanding and doing paint and while we're still trying to work.
This is just awful. I'm like, you just want your house to be right.
Yeah, and we planned on coming home. We could have done that in 2 days. The paint could have been done. Except we come home and now, I take the time and I look at stuff and these welds are garbage and they're incomplete. And So now we're concerned. Well, like, what do we want to do about this? How are we going to check this? We're going to do our own due diligence just so that we sleep better at night. Same thing with the closet slide. Well, so now you didn't fix anything. You put a screw in at 45 degrees, and then you packed it full of silicone. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out now, because it makes it tough. What else? The main slides. Like, well, what are the odds? Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. We put the slide out in a giant. Here, just. Bad luck. We come home, and all of a sudden this thing just snap. The same time, I get out and I'm looking, I'm like, this whole slide does this. The other one sits like this. And it says on the work order, checked and normal.
It's just little stuff like that. But it is an emotional roller coaster ride, especially with your kids.
I don't like being lied to, and I don't like being screwed around with.
We just want to come home. And we can't come home because it's not right, and it should be right. And then we took it there so it would be right, and it's not right. And it's really hard to tuck your kids in every night and try to explain them why they're not back in their beds because somebody didn't do their job right, or somebody didn't oversee a job right, or do the things they said they were going to do for your house.
That's the big thing. Like, we did our best to document in emails and have the paper trail, and a lot of this I can. Like, I don't have the conversation recorded where the service writer, like, unequivocally stated, and we even went to the point we included it in the earlier videos. Like, this is what we were told. We didn't make this up. But now we're sitting here on the line, so who's calling who a liar? Like, I'm absolutely saying, I guess they haven't denied that they said it yet. They're being very ambiguous with the way that they word things. But it's like, well, you guys told me this. You told me that you were putting in like 20 different pieces of steel to reinforce the frame. There are four specific parts that are listed. Like, so is the rest of it even in there? Like, I don't, it's strange, the detail that's in some places and the detail that's not in others.
So obviously we're really frustrated, and the point of why we could keep going on and on, but we want to keep our videos short, so that way you guys can watch it and not take an hour of your time. Just like with us as well.
Well, we're going to take an hour of your time. Just in shorter bits.
Yeah, that way you don't try and watch it and go back and watch it, because when we try to do that with 3 kids, it's really hard to try and watch sometimes.
Right.
So anyway. Okay.
That's that. Thanks. See you in the next one.
On to the next video.
Alright. So what do you want to talk about next?